You know, folks, I was just watching the announcement by Bezalel Smotrich about, the building of homes in a place called E1, which is next to, it's basically in the Jordan Valley. It's next to Malay Adumim. It's been in contention for quite some time, and finally we're basically annexing it, and we're going to build homes there. And guys, it's really incredible to me that the biggest problem of people who don't like Jews and or Israel, or even the people who are live in Israel, who don't really understand why we need to be living in Judea and Samaria, their biggest problem is when a Jew. It's probably worse than if somebody wants to go and unalive somebody. It's worse when a Jew, in their eyes, when a Jew wants to go build a home, or as Jackie Mason used to say, extend the kitchen or bathroom, put in a kitchen or bathroom addition in their home. Folks, it drives them absolutely insane. Why does it drive them insane? Folks, because coming back, the Jewish people coming back to the land of Israel after thousands of years. First of all, if you're a Muslim, it negates your theology completely, because the Quran says that these people are cursed. They lost they were the people of the book, and then they lost their halak. They lost their basically their place, their inheritance in the land, and that's it. They're cursed, and they're supposed to wander around forever, right? Christianity, folks, pretty much certain writings in Christianity pretty much say kind of the same thing. Not only that, they say that they're, Christianity, they're the chosen ones because whatever, right? We rejected this guy, Mr. JC, and that's it. So, folks, now imagine if you believe in God, right? If you're a Muslim or a Christian, and you believe in God, and you believe literally everything is from God, right? Everything. And you see what has transpired over the last maybe more than 100 years, right? For sure since the founding of the State of Israel. For sure since 1967, when the Jews were able to literally go back to Jerusalem and Judea and Samaria. You start to ask the question, wait a minute. Like the Christian world, guys, part of the Christian world, I can't say the whole Christian world, but part of the Christian world have kind of said, okay, maybe there's something to this. Maybe there's, something to the fact that the Jewish people, this is their land. They're back, etc., etc. Okay. It took them a while to accept it, but they're, kind of begrudgingly, kind of kicking and screaming, accepting it. Islam, my friends, there's no accepting it. Basically, if you ask them, they'll say, well, literally, it's not Allah, it's not God who allowed this. It's some demonic force that allowed this to happen. It's an injustice, and we have to correct this injustice. We have to kick the Yahud out of our land, that we conquered, because it's ours. It's Al-Quds, it's this, it's that, right? We have to get them out of there, my friends. They cannot. It's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. So, my friends, now imagine the Jew is back in his land. Not only is he back in his land, he's back in the part which is the cradle of Jewish civilization. It's literally where the Torah started. Everything in the Torah started. Without that place, we don't even have our heritage, really. It's not about Tel Aviv. It's about Shiloh, Beitel, Har Grizim, Har Eval, Yerushalayim, Hebron. This is it, folks. So now the Jews go back there to those specific places, and they start to build, and they start to build, and they start to build, my friends. Right? Folks, that is they can't have that. That's bad. That basically says that everything that they believe, definitely everything Muslims believe, and partially what Christians believe, which is not entirely true, is negated. Folks, it is negated. With Christians, it's not so clear-cut, because you also have the Tanakh, right? They believe in parts of the Tanakh and whatever it is, but Again, if you grow up, or if you believe for the last thousands of years that the Jews lost their inheritance, and now you see that they've gotten it back, they were all this was what's called in Hebrew onesh. It was a timeout. It wasn't a punishment. It was a timeout, right? And we had to earn it back. And Hashem decreed that we would get it back. But if you thought that Hashem took it away from them forever, and now everything you thought is incorrect, my friends, think about it like this. It's almost like telling the people who thought that taking you know what would be good, and then these people then these people had a conviction about it, and now these people have to accept that it's not only is not so good, that maybe, just maybe, somebody was trying to do them harm, right? And then there's people like myself who, warned them about it and told them it's bad. Folks, think about it's called a, what kind of breakdown people would have, right? When they have like a realization like that. Any realization where they thought some X and the truth turns out to be Y. You have it's a meltdown. It's a shutdown, really, right? Nobody wants to have that, folks. It's called ontological shock. And folks, honestly, I feel bad for those people, for anybody. Whether it's the people who believe this and that, and then, are going to have their awakening, or the people that thought the Jews lost their inheritance. Because there's something actually even worse coming for them because of the way they're behaving, right? When Mashiach comes, they're going to realize that, okay, their activity, their behavior was not such a good idea. So, I don't know, guys. I was just thinking about that when I was watching Smotrich announce what he was announcing, and I found it actually, I found it incredible, how up in arms the world is, and you just realize that, of course they're up in arms, because when your perception is challenged by reality on the ground, and you're saying to yourself, it can't be, right? These people must be bad. Whoever's doing this must be bad. They're going against God's will. They're going against humanity. It's a crime against humanity to build a home, for a Jew to build a home in this place, right? It shouldn't be. How is God allowing this? But folks, God is allowing this, and it's going to continue, and we should just, again, like I said, have blinders on, have earmuffs on, and that's it, guys. And just go forward. Weiter, as we say in Yiddish, and Zell. Alright, guys. Talk to you soon.